is Lindsay here with Tuned In Press. I'm here with Calling All Captains, and we're here with...
I'm Tim, I play the drums, and I kind of lost my voice last night.
I don't think you need to go that close. I'm Luke. I'm Luke, I'm the vocals.
I'm Brad, I play guitar.
I'm Nick, I play bass.
I'm Connor, and I also play guitar.
Perfect. All right, so you guys are in America right now. You're from Canada. How's the American tour been so far, minus your injury?
Awesome.
It's been.
Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Yeah?
Like, people who have in Texas have been like putting us up, feeding us. And,
oh god. Yeah, I know. We played a show in Odessa last night, and there was probably like 100 just kids just going wild. Like they all knew the words too. Like it was crazy. Felt like a hometown show, but we're in the middle of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
What did you kind of expect coming to Texas?
Nothing. I didn't expect anything.
I thought it would be hotter.
This is.
I thought it'd be warmer.
We thought it'd be warmer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They all brought like tank tops and shorts, and I was like, man.
You were so pumped for it. I'm sorry.
Well, I brought jeans and sweaters because
that's all he wears.
That's all I wear anyway.
I've never seen you in a pair of shorts.
I don't like shorts.
I would like you in shorts.
They don't like me. They don't like me. So I fuck with khakis.
Yeah. Right.
So if it's like 100 degrees, like in Houston here, like in the summer, it's like 103. So then, are you still sweatshirts and jeans, or would you?
Okay, 103. We use Celsius in Canada, so that's probably like 35. That's too hot.
Yeah, that's like 30s.
That's too hot.
Really
that sounds like well, you know what though? Remember that one venue? It was like plus 40 in the venue, and I wore jeans and a hoodie.
Yeah.
It was such a flex.
I got sweaty just watching you.
Yeah.
And you get sweaty normal.
So it's not saying much.
So, Luke, I saw that you were supposed to be doing vocals and drums for while he was injured. Did that happen, or did you? How did that go for you?
Dude, well, I used to be the drummer for the band, right?
Right.
So I knew all the tunes. I recorded a couple on the latest EP. So it was just kind of easy, but that's the drumming part was easy.
Right.
But the singing at the same time, that was pretty hard. And I had like 24 hours notice because he busted his arm, and then like. On the drive to the next venue, right? I was just like thinking about it in my head. We were like playing the tunes back. I was like, just like trying to figure it out, and it worked out.
And we've still been doing it.
It's not over. We're gonna do it tonight again. So.
Okay, so are you like not playing at all, or are you
I'm
to get?
expecting to be back like this week. I'm gonna start playing. I might even play like one song tonight, and then like slowly we're gonna kind of ease me back in.
Okay. And I saw something about you trying to learn things one-handed. How is that?
It went pretty good. Like I learned the songs, or like learned them how to play like the majority of the beats with one hand. So we did it. We did a couple shows where I played the drums with my left hand, and Luke played the cymbals with his right hand.
So it was kind of like both of us playing drums at the same time. So I was up in the front with the crowd, right, with like cymbal stands, and I was just like hitting them on time.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, but honestly, it sounds better just having him drum and sing.
Yeah.
So he's been doing that, and then we're gonna slowly ease me back in.
So maybe now, if you actually lost your arm for realsies, then you still have a job.
Or he would just take over.
Yeah.
No, if I lost a limb, they would just cut me out of the
You're
game.
like, bye.
Yeah.
I love Mastodon. They're like one of my favorite bands, but I don't want to do that. Like I ain't no Phil Collins.
You're like, I love you, bro, but.
Yeah, we need you, my guy.
Oh, my dude.
So you guys just came out with your brand new EP in February, Nothing Grows Here. Can you tell me a little bit about the EP, and do you have a concept overall for it?
Nick,
everybody was quick point. When we kind of sat down and decided we were going to be making this, it came after a lot of not controversy but hardships, losing our vocalist and then kind of being in this limbo state.
He didn't die. He just quit the band. Just FYI.
Yeah. We lost him at Taco Bell.
Okay.
Lost him in Walmart. Saw him found him. They tried to PA. We kind of had a lot of people almost banging on us not to come back from this, and through our whole career, just being from the middle of Canada, we're not one of the major cities anybody looks to for music, and we got told that nothing's ever going to happen. We shouldn't put too much time and effort into it, and we're literally lacking a better term that nothing grows here.
Fair point. All of our friends and family support us fully, but just where we're from, nobody comes out.
The industry doesn't really.
The industry doesn't even look at do you know where Edmonton is?
We don't either. Yeah. And we're from there.
We're 53 hours from home right now, and that's a straight line.
Yeah, so if I say Vancouver, you know where that is, right?
I do.
If I say Toronto, you know where that is, right?
Yes.
We're nowhere near either of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we pretty much just
there's some small town appreciation. whenever we drove up to Seattle, like on the way up, because we drove from here up to there, we stopped in Missoula. Do you know where that is?
We've driven through Missoula.
Yeah, see, so you know where Missoula is, but a lot of people don't,
Yeah.
so I get it. But I mean, cool stuff can happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, we're still not technically a small town. We're
Yeah.
the second most northern city
We're
with
almost
over
a
1 million people.
I think Saint Petersburg, Russia, is on our latitude, so it's like us and something in Siberia.
Yeah,
You know.
where they put people to exile.
Yeah,
and-
that's where we live. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically Siberia.
So Edmonton is really weird too, because like basically in the summer it gets hot, like it gets like plus 32 on like a very hot day, which is probably Celsius. By
Yeah.
the way.
Okay.
A hot 32-degree day. You know, it's not the same down here.
So that's probably like 90, 97 Fahrenheit is like hot, and it gets cold, like minus 45.
Yeah.
Like that's not even a joke.
Minus 40 is
Yeah,
minus 40.
when we left, it was like minus 40, minus 50,
Yeah,
plus wind chill.
plus the wind chill, right? So that's like, so let me put this straight. So in Antarctica, we were colder than Antarctica.
We were colder than Mars for a few
Yo,
days.
actually, my hometown, I grew up in a small little hometown called Vegreville, and it was the coldest place on earth for a day or two.
Yeah.
It was wild. That's why I moved. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when
We did
people,
not get that cold here.
yeah, you said it was cold earlier, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. For Houston, it is.
Yeah, you know what? Like we were saying, they
Yeah.
brought like shorts and tank tops, and it's not shorts and tank tops.
I'm wearing socks and sandals.
I'm wearing shorts.
I was expecting.
You can't tie your shoelaces.
That's true. Yeah, I never learned. So
So you were saying with the EP, you're kind of overcoming hardships. What do you think you've done, I guess, to overcome those things?
We just kind of kept the 5 of us together. Like, yeah, there was a moment where we didn't have Tim, and the 4 of us were antsy and anxious and didn't really know what the future held, but we just kept going. Didn't let anybody tell us not to. And so we wound up, like, after we got Tim and everything fell into place, it was next to no time before we got the ball rolling, went on tour, finished recording,
That's
had
another
a
thing.
showcase.
That's another thing too, is that like we just kept touring. Like whether or not we got signed, we'd still be doing this.
Yeah.
We'd be going out touring as much as we can. We went to the UK all on our own dime. We spent money on the plane tickets, gear rentals, barely making gas money at these shows, but we just had to do it.
Right.
It's the perseverance of like, even though nothing really grows out of where we're from, there's maybe like a handful of groups and acts that kind of broke out, but it's very far and few. And so like we've always had the determination and the consistency of always touring. Like we do at least 3 tours a year every year,
Yeah.
no matter what. We've done across Canada. This is our first time in America, and it's been amazing. So it kind of goes along with that. Like nothing grows here. It's just like if nothing grows here, we'll make it grow.
Kind of spread your wings.
Yeah. It's like in our tune "Chasing Ghosts." Like the first lyrics, like if you want better, then go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The album art for this, you kind of teamed up with Soft Surrogate and Archive. Did you pretty much get what you were envisioning for this, or is it a little different?
To be frank,
You're
really.
You're Luke.
What were you thinking?
We had a whole other concept in mind, and
Okay.
like kind of gave them what we had envisioned, and they took that and just like completely redesigned it and came back with something. So off the bat, immediately we were like, "Oh man, this wasn't at all what we were hoping for or what we planned."
Yeah.
And we were kind of like, "Shit,
Up in
this
the
isn't
air.
what we wanted." But then as we like talked about it more and the art grew on us,
Well,
Yeah.
and like we had a couple stylistic changes with the album art, and once those stylistic changes happened, it was actually like, you know what, this is our EP. Like if you open it up and you see all the attaching pictures and the vibe that it gives, it works.
Yeah.
Soft Surrogate killed it with that artwork, and like especially like the album streams that we have, like there's stars on the cover, right? And for this visual stream, it's like just like going like this, and it's like really cool. So,
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like it works, for sure. That's what I was kind of wondering. How did you, I guess, meet these people? Did you meet them through someone, or how did you get in touch with them to do that?
Kevin had done work for a bunch of other bands, and like he's worked with Rise Records and a ton of other notable people.
Yeah.
And being Canadian, like our producer, our engineer, everybody who's mastered, like everything that was this album was Canadian, and that's kind of how we wanted to keep it, just keep everything as close to home as we could.
Okay.
Just because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we're proud of where we're from, so we might as well show that off as much as we can.
Yeah. I'm definitely appreciating a more raw sound on this EP, particularly in the vocals. Were you inspired by anything different for this?
No, I tried to sing clean, and that's my vocal tone.
It just sounds like this.
Yeah, no, it's I really grew up like listening to like NoFX, Avenged Sevenfold, and they got grit in their voices, and that's how I learned. Like growing up singing, trying to sing along with tunes, I just kind of tried to mimic it, and for the longest time, I thought I was going to be a screamer in a band. So I learned how to scream. Like I can do like highs, lows, inhales, like whatever you want, but that's not kind of where my vocals ended up. So I guess bringing that talent, like not necessarily talent, just like know-how for screaming, bringing it into like the singing voice. I know how to push it a little bit more. So and it's crazy. It's like,
I mean, a lot of this stuff is a little more emotional for you too, especially saying like you wrote how much more of these vocals, so it is you.
Yeah, you know, like I got back from tour and I wrote Fool's Gold, just like in a daze almost. I just busted it out when I got home. I was like sitting in my basement. I was like, I gotta get it down. Connor wrote the most banging riff, like the beginning opening riff. Connor wrote that and he showed it to me, and
It was funny, actually. I was writing a different song,
Yeah.
and I come over the next day and you just stole the riff. But it's a great song. Just stole the riff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, but the fact with like writing my own lyrics, especially like being the voice of the band now instead of being in the background where the drums are, I kind of put a little bit more of myself into it. And to be honest, like when we went and recorded this EP, I just started singing like 6 months ago, like seriously, and I couldn't hit some of the stuff in the studio, and I was like, could I curse?
Yeah,
I was all fucked up about it, to be honest. Like,
people ask me that a lot. That's why I laugh.
yeah, no, I was really messed up about it. Like I just couldn't do stuff, and like I was getting really down on myself. And the fellas, you know, they're all like coming together, supporting me, and like, you know, like you got this, man. You're our voice, and you know, like without these boys, man, like we probably wouldn't have. I wouldn't have become a singer of a band at all. I wouldn't have had the confidence. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
On Chasing Ghosts in particular, I really appreciate the vocals on that one. What is it about that song do you think makes it, I guess, more popular than some of the other ones? I feel like that's kind of the go-to for people right now.
music video is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it was. It did get the push with the music video. Statistically, with our numbers, actually going back through, what we've had is it's the most popular because it's been out a little bit longer. Whereas Fool's Gold, since the album has dropped, has skyrocketed its numbers.
Yeah, that one's crazy. It just Fool's Gold blew up.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, like Chasing Ghosts too. I also feel that it's the most like, not necessarily generic, but it's the most like commercially available,
Like
probably to a lot of
accessible.
people. Yeah, a lot of people. Like it's got it's like, you know, it's got an intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, and then that's it. You know, it's like it's very much like it follows the pop formula. You know, it's under 3 minutes. Chorus comes in within 30 seconds. You know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Disconnected, which is my favorite, you sing, I never held so hard onto the things that keep me grounded because I've gotten used to running away. You said this wouldn't be easy and I didn't believe you. Now I see firsthand why I feel disconnected. What do you feel you're running away to, or what makes you feel disconnected?
Well, funny thing about that song, that's actually the last song that our previous vocalist wrote with us.
Okay.
So he wrote those lyrics.
Okay.
But singing them every night and doing the video, like connecting with the lyrics in my own way, it's kind of taken on its own meaning for myself, and it's probably for the other fellas as well. But you know, it's weird, you know, like we're on tour for 8 weeks, and like I left all of my homies back home. I'm lucky to have Connor in the band. He's literally my best friend forever. I've seen him every day for like the past decade. But we all got other friends, and you know, like we got ladies back home, and we're just we do this life because it fulfills us. It like what gets us out of bed, creating something and seeing people come out to shows and connect with it. It's that's what we're holding on to. Like, I've never held so hard onto the things that keep me grounded, and this music definitely keeps me grounded. And you know, like, I've gotten used to running away. It's like I've gotten used to running away from my problems all the time. I'll like put all my problems in the bowl and light it up. You know, like that's just kind of how things work for us.
Yeah.
And we've all got our own demons and stuff like that. But it's sometimes easier to run away from what's kind of right in front of you, all the problems you have to face, instead of just dealing with it. Because dealing with anything, especially in a traumatic or emotional experience, is tough to deal with. And without a support group, or without like even an animal, like someone just to talk to and be there for you, it's gonna be really hard. So like that's, for me, the tune means like I hold on to the music because it keeps me grounded, because I've gotten used to run away from everything. You know, like this is the one thing I can't run away from, and I don't want to. I didn't want to.
So, for the video for that song, were you guys part of that concept for that song in particular?
He directed that video.
Okay.
We were to.
Funny story. Our old singer actually filmed the video for us.
Yeah,
Yes.
our old singer like was hand in hand, like.
So are you guys still cool with him?
Oh yeah, we're all cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. He'll do photography and stuff like that. I've talked to him about like taking pictures for like my clothing brand and stuff like that too. So
Okay.
we're all still cool.
He comes to shows and stuff.
Yeah, he comes to shows. He'll like one of my favorite moments actually. We were playing a hometown show, and he came to the show, right? And we were playing one of the last songs we released with him, and he was on stage taking pictures. And then we were
It
like,
was the first show
yeah,
with you fronting.
yeah, and we were like, get up here. And so like me and him were like hand in hand, like singing the song together, and
Yeah.
it's like it was almost like he was like passing the torch on.
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I feel like that would be awesome just as like a fan to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
something like that. And that's something you kind of want to see, and almost like a closure in a way
Yeah.
for the
for real.
fans too. And
It's always a bummer if you love a band and you find out that they eventually hate each other. You know, like I'm sure all of us, like you hear about Mark and Tom, you know, at odds, and it just breaks our hearts, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good that we're on good terms with the guy.
And then you said you directed video?
On it into being a tour song about being on the road and stuff, and
Yeah.
and the video kind of had a difference, was like very personal to me. My sister passed away when I was 12 years old, so the concept of the video kind of was like about the things that you miss out on while you're on tour. We talked about a whole bunch of ideas, and it like went from like that into what the video became, which was just about I guess the way that you use music or art as an emotional release,
Yeah, and
which was super personal for me.
yeah, and especially because like even if that's the release, it sometimes frustrates you as well, because in like the bridge of the song, you know, he's trying painting after painting after painting, but like nothing's working, and he just like started screaming, you know, like he loses it, and you know, like, and that comes with like the emotional response of like releasing the art as well, you know, because when you create something, it's a piece of you, and you have to deal with it however it affects you.
It's my favorite song. It's my favorite video for sure off of that. And I'm sorry about your sister. Is the end of the video kind of related to that then? The part with the in loving memory, and it has like a
that's
picture.
Actually, his
That's-
sister.
oh my gosh. Because I was wondering if it was actually based on something personal, or if
It
that
was.
It's super personal for me.
I like that you
He's
featured that.
he's got a tattoo for her too.
Really?
Yeah, I have Jessica Rabbit on my room. It was one of my favorite movies to watch as kids.
I like that. I like that you definitely put in your personal touch, for sure.
Yeah, I think it made the video a lot more
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't see that part until I saw the video, and I gotta say, Brad, that like really fucked me up. Man. I was like,
Oh.
I had a lot of people mention that, like, man, I wasn't ready for this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man, it hit home so hard. It was
Yeah.
good. So.
So kind of talking about home, what is the music scene like back home for you guys? Playing sets there? You have great pop bands up there,
Western
so-
Canada is the most supportive network of musicians and fans we've ever been to.
West Coast, best coast.
Our hometown shows are unreal.
Yeah, it's you pack like 100 kids in a room, and they're literally just all screaming the words, like
Yeah.
crowd surfing. One time we we had the promoter literally come on stage like, crowd surfing, you're gonna break the ceiling because like there was pipes and shit.
Oh,
like,
they hang off the pipes.
It was crazy.
Well, I mean, even going from the last show with Mike was we opened for Silverstein, so it's a 500-person room.
That's
It's
interesting.
packed, and people are screaming along, line for line with everything. And it's a super like emotional moment for all of us, and just every single person there just made it so much more important than to come from that and come back with Luke to a 300-person room that is like from the door to the front just absolutely packed, and kids flying over each other. We had monitors knocked off the stage. I think pedals got unplugged repeatedly. Like
Light cables come out.
It was
like, it's-
insane.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered about the Silverstein shows up there
They're-
because I see them every time they come here, and like kids are losing their mind. Like they're crowd surfing every 5 seconds. I'm like, that was the same kid that just crowd surfed 10 seconds
Yeah, no,
ago.
yeah.
And it's
Oh,
the same-
yeah. It's always the same one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Goes
I
back
the
love
same
that guy.
20 kids that are doing it over and over. It's like, okay, you know, if you have it in you, that's cool. But yeah. So you guys also signed with Equal Vision Records. They have a lot of great artists. Besides that point, what kind of made you choose them specifically?
They asked.
There is that.
We actually had a couple offers, and we did our research on all the labels, and there was just, you know, the music scene is crazy right now, and you hear a lot of stories about bands getting 360 by their labels, and we just there was you couldn't find a bad word about Equal Vision.
Yeah, Equal Vision had the best.
It's right in the name. Equal
Yeah.
Vision.
Yeah, like they literally have a
really-
vision that was equal to us.
And yeah, they held up to that.
We sat down with Dan, who was eventually the guy who was running our shit, and it was just, you know, we went from meeting him to 2 hours later, like we finished with hugs and pizza and just like hung out, and we were on the same page. And I think the big point was he looked at us, he's like, so when we sign you, what do you guys want us to do? And at that point we just needed, like, you know, we were all on the same page, we knew what we wanted, we were ready to take the step. And yeah, they have put out some amazing bands.
Dude,
And
Yeah, they're the best team we could
the,
ask for.
the big thing for us too was we wanted a label that knew Canada a little bit better. And so, you know, the label that did a lot for Alexis on Fire, it's
Yeah,
not the worst option.
that's true. And I mean, they sealed it with pizzas, so.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We went
That
for
was the
vegan-
contract.
Vegan
Yeah,
We
pizza.
went for vegan
That's
pizza.
when you knew it was
so
real.
good. And we were in like, where were we? We were in
Spokane.
Spokane. Spokane.
Spokane.
We say Spokane for fun, but yeah.
All right. So I know you mentioned the basement earlier. So is the famous basement your basement or someone else's? The one with all the flags and posters and all that. Whose basement is that?
And which
Which one? Like,
Well, everyone kind of talks about it. Like, you guys, there's several videos too where there's like knuckle puck flags.
oh, like
and
the drum play through
posters
video and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Yeah, kid, that's my basement.
The drum play
Okay.
is yours.
Yeah.
The Nerve video is Mike's living room. The disconnected video is Brad's basement. We don't leave our house a
Yeah, the
lot.
chasing Ghost video is also my house.
yeah, it's really cold in Canada. We
It's
just
cool.
saying.
We film everything in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight in the igloo.
So do you find yourself doing a lot of writing there still, or do you go to studio, like for lyrics and music? Like, where are you guys?
It's like pretty. Well, honestly, like
Yeah, it's mostly done in houses, but like there is stuff like studio magic. Right?
Yeah.
Like, the studio and
yeah, man. Basically,
Turn down and suck.
yeah,
Turn
basically,
up the awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, basically, like Connor and I will just like sit down in the basement, just like stare at an empty music file and just like get to work. And you know, like he'll come up with the riff, and I'll like add to it. I'll come up with the riff, he'll add to it. You know, like that's literally how the EP was written. And you
Yeah.
know, like when we get like a full idea down, we'll send it to the boys. Be like, hey boys, what do you like? What do you don't like? What
Yeah.
can we fix? You know, like what's the next step? And then we'll take that to our producer, and the producer he'll flip it on its upside down and tell us like what the good parts are, and the same thing around.
Yeah.
And there's a process, but it's
but also like we're writing lyrics everywhere.
yeah, literally like
Notepads on our phones.
Yeah.
You're inspired whenever you get inspiration. Right.
So you've been like on the road and you can write things.
oh yeah, and we got like a Google Drive we all share. So like there's like Brad's lyrics, there's like Nick's lyrics, Connor's lyrics, my lyrics. So like we all
My lyrics go up on the fridge.
yeah,
Hey, right next to mine, buddy.
Yeah.
We got this.
Rhythm section lyrics.
Hold it down.
Yeah.
So for this tour, I also noticed, I think you have like 6 different bands that you're touring
Yep.
with, like across the whole way. What, I guess, made that? Was it just timing, or how did that happen?
We didn't have a whole lot to say on this one.
Okay.
We went with Artery Global for booking the tour, and we just said we wanted to go, and that was pretty much it. And so he booked that first leg. That was going to be Gardenside and Cellular Stores, and then we met up with Gold Steps and Cellular Stores for this bit until we go back up to Cincinnati. Then we're meeting up in the Carolinas with Brigades of Felicity and doing Florida and then back north, and then the Northeast we're heading out with Bakari for the last like 10 days.
So if you think about it, it's basically like we're doing like this big old American tour, and then like just different bands from different regions like hopping on.
We're doing 4 little tours back to back to back.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I think that's almost cooler. It's better. Yeah. I like
I
it.
mean, you can meet a lot of people along the way.
And we got really lucky. Like all of our touring mates have been awesome.
I miss you,
Great
Niles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gardenside, your life.
Yeah.
What should we be expecting, I guess, after the American tour, and then you guys are doing another Canada one,
Yeah,
right?
with Rarity.
Do you feel like you'll be writing some more, or making some more music? Maybe
Oh, we got lots.
Yes.
We got.
Ready?
That's all
We got a
do.
full length in the
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
We've got one more tour in the works for the summer. We've got some time set aside in the fall for working on some new recording, and then we've got a couple more international plans for November, December, and then do it all over again.
I love saying international plans. You know,
Yeah, it just gets you giddy.
it gets me.
You're like, I'm cool.
I won't go that far, but
So I always like to ask a few fun questions at the end, so unmusically related. What is the dumbest way you have been injured?
Oh!
There's a
You got
video.
this.
I got this one.
Yeah, you got
There's a video on somebody's phone of me jumping over Connor on a scooter in slow motion, and I broke my elbow and had to play a show 9 days later.
And he
And
played
he
that
And I
show.
played the
You
show.
Played that
Okay.
show.
I had
Okay.
surgery and then played the show.
It's a slow motion video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can see the moment.
You can literally see the moment like snap. But you know,
Pretty
like
gnarly.
I'm like the careful one.
for like a dumb injury, I got off the chairlift when I was snowboarding and I twisted my knee and I had to get ski lifted down.
oh my god.
First run.
Off the first run. It was,
Yeah,
my 14th birthday, and my dad was super stoked to take me out, and then I just like ruined it. I ruined my own chair. It was like, yeah.
What about you guys? Anything?
I used to own a go-kart when I was a kid, and I did a barrel roll and like it landed on my arm and snapped my arm.
Oh Jesus.
I did the same thing, and I got a scar.
Yeah, no, I landed back on the wheels and I kept driving.
It's a trooper.
When I was a kid, oh, you go first, Ben.
Oh, go ahead.
When I was a kid, I think I was like 5 years old, my older brothers used to put me on their legs and they'd like rocket me into the couch
Yeah.
just for fun, for shits and giggles. There's nothing else to do in Canada. But anyway, so my brother launched me into the couch, and so I fly through the air as a little 5-year-old. And I land on the couch like this. I snapped both my arm bones clean in half.
Oh,
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
His
it.
band just breaks arms.
Which is
man.
why now this arm is like fucking real strong. Yeah, but no, like I remember my brother making the phone call to my dad, and he was like, "Dad, we hurt Tim." And he was like, "I'm gonna hurt you."
Shout out to the Wilsons.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out.
That's
You
funny.
had one?
As a kid, me and my cousins used to jump off the stairs onto the couch, and that's how I broke my arm.
So everyone's
Couches.
arms, basically.
I've
Yeah.
never
Arms.
broken anything in my life.
Me either.
Oh, okay, wait, I have a better one.
Staples.
Yeah.
Oh.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, you should not.
Knock on
do
wood,
that.
Please.
I used to have a
Finna break my ankle.
a chin-up bar in my house, right? So I would like do chin-ups all the time, and we
So he
moved to
gets
this.
these guns.
We moved to this house, and I had to have a door frame to use it, and the new house only had one door frame, and it was at the back staircase. So you know where this is going.
Oh no.
So we had this party. We had a party, and I was drunk at the party, and some other person had like taken the chin-up bar off the wall to like check it out or something, and then like put it back up wrong. So then I like come around the corner and like hold on the chin-up bar, fall down the stairs, 12 staples in my head.
Oh my god. When was this?
Staples.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I hit the floor and then immediately like blood was gushing out of my head, and I got up and I was like, hey, I don't think I'm okay, because somebody checked my head out. and then apparently I passed out on the kitchen floor face down for 2 minutes, everyone thought I died.
Oh my
And
god.
then I went to the ER with like blood like streaming on my face, and I looked like a zombie, like the whole place stopped when I walked in.
I've never heard this story. Like, did you forget about it? Like,
No, I knew.
He's just really
You just didn't
embarrassed
wanna
about
tell
it.
me.
I was just like,
This is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I got this.
Oh my God.
We call Nick hard drive because he has pretty much an eidetic memory. It's kind of weird. We're really thankful for him, but
I'm a pissed off girlfriend all the time.
yeah, no, I remember shit from like 3 years ago, like on a Sunday night, you know, like
At 4:45 p.m.
You said this in this tone.
The only one of you that's ever awake Sunday night at 4:45 is Tim, and he doesn't make sense at that point.
That's true. Yeah.
he gets mischievous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do that. I've done that. It's like 5 years later. Do you remember that one time, like 8 years ago, when you said this?
That's my life.
Yeah. What is a time that you have majorly screwed up or you did something bad but no one found out until now?
Tim.
Until now.
Until
How many
now.
toilets break this tour, buddy?
A few. A few. Yeah. We were at a venue, and I was in the bathroom doing what you do, taking a dump. And I could hear the band on stage be like, "Who is in the bathroom just stinking up the place?" So I'm literally on the toilet being like, "It's me." Yeah.
You know what?
Like, is it teenager?
I get found out. You know, I'm horrible.
Yeah,
at
I get found
Yeah,
out.
I got caught for everything I ever did.
I got
You got
caught.
caught.
Yeah.
I got caught in high school. That was bad.
I got caught by my dad for a lot of stuff, but he hid it from my mom, so I'm not going to go into more detail. But
Also, hi,
Craig,
Mom.
Jack,
You're like,
you two need to talk about it.
Yeah, you just put your dad in the doghouse. You know that, right?
You'll never see
Double O
this.
dog. It's gonna be okay.
There was one time I used to like borrow my mom's car before I was 18, and I had some friends that lived out of town, and we would go to their house and take my car and do donuts in the rock pit beside the house, and I definitely put a few rocks through the radiator and fucked the car.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Dude, that's so bad.
It was a lot of fun. But
Yeah,
in
okay.
hindsight,
Yeah.
not so
Hindsight's
good for the car.
2020, man.
So, I'll give you an example. I'll ask the question, we'll give you an example. What is one of the weirdest things you've seen before on tour while out on the road?
Oh, yo.
All right. Are we all thinking of the same one? Maybe Odessa?
Yeah, Odessa.
Last night?
Like last night, we rolled into Odessa, and like the very first thing I see is a guy at a bus stop just smoking 2 cigarettes.
And he has, like-
both are lit, you know, just going back and forth, like.
And he has like those pit viper glasses that are like super shiny,
Yeah.
like
It was Macho
he
Man
looked
Randy
like
Savage.
yeah,
smoking
yeah,
donuts.
yeah, for real. He looked like little Windex.
He looked like he'd been doing coke for a couple days.
And yeah, like just literally 2. You know what I was thinking? Like he had like one menthol and one regular, just like changing
Yeah.
it up every now and again, you know?
Flavor country.
Yeah.
Kind of flavor country.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him at all, or did you?
No,
we were driving.
We were driving.
I gave him the horns. He's like, "Hey, buddy, got a smoke?" But we must have seen some other weird shit though. Oh, right across from the guy smoking 2 cigarettes was 2 cats fucking. So that was
So
cool.
we knew Odessa's going to be.
So yeah, and it
Odessa
was,
went off.
and it was lit. Yeah. But,
There was this one time where, I guess it's not really weird, but we were playing Montreal, and it just, you guys know where Montreal?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know about the Just for Laughs festival?
I don't.
Okay, it's like this gigantic citywide comedy festival.
Okay.
And we just so happened to be rolling through. And like, so right after we played the show, we were like going around, we were just seeing all these crazy things. There's like people on stilts, there's like literally every bar, there's like someone like comedy, like there's like the whole town was like laughing. It was pretty cool. It wasn't weird necessarily, but
Yeah,
that was one of the
but kinda cool to come
Yeah,
up
one of the, it's not 2 guys smoking cigarettes or nothing, but
One guy smoking.
one guy's smoking 2.
Speaking out a million times.
It's not as wild as guys smoking cigarettes.
When we were driving on that same Seattle drive, we drove back down through Idaho, and we had to stop for gas. And there was this gas station. It was like middle of nowhere gas station, is literally what it was called.
I like it.
And we pulled up, and it was actually a gas station and a petting zoo. And so
It's like peanut butter and jelly.
He's putting gas in the car, meanwhile also being like spat on from a llama. I'm like, what is this place? And it was like 2 in the morning, no one's there, but the llama's there, and like
The llama was
That's
pumping
cool.
gas, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoking a
You said
cigarette.
this is in Idaho.
Yeah,
it's an
Boys, we got a road trip.
yeah, we do.
That's so far.
Another weird thing we saw is like we were driving through a town called Enumclaw in Washington.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Crazy. But anyway,
Lost Appendages.
yeah. We drive by this fireworks shop. It's literally called Lost Appendages Fireworks. So what do you think?
promising.
What do you think
Yeah.
will happen? You know? That's-
Well, we passed by a fireworks place today that said buy 1 get 5 free. Like freedom, America.
Texas.
Yeah. love America.
We saw McDonald's shaped as a UFO in Roswell. That was pretty sweet.
Oh,
So
really?
That was lit.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go. I think it's in Sedona, Arizona, but they have like a law where there can't be any like yellow signs. So the McDonald's is literally blue. Like the McDonald's.
It's
I don't know,
an old school law.
Yeah, it's an old school law. Like they have turquoise vibe. Like the whole city's got a turquoise vibe. So literally the McDonald's M is turquoise. It's the only one.
That law?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only have the one.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, I'm not making another blue McDonald's.
That's off brand.
Yeah.
Whack Donalds.
Anything to say to fans?
We love you.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim.
My guy.
I love you, man.
I got one thing to say to everybody. When I was 12 years old, I drew a picture of me on stage, and like with a bunch of people in the crowd, and I laminated it. And our whole band has the same motto: thoughts become things. And literally every time we play, I see all these kids connecting with our lyrics, just being here for us, literally making our dreams happen.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's super cheesy and every band says it, but like without the fans or like the people supporting us, we're nothing. We'd be playing to nobody. And
Yeah, I've played to empty rooms before, and it's not as fun.
And yeah, it's a 15-hour drives.
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, it's basically just a big old thank you. Like,
Thoughts
Wow.
become things. Set your goals.
and yo, if we can
Stick
do
to
it,
'em.
you can do it too. If you got a band and stuff like that, man, get on the road. Just like write some.
Just do it.
Yeah, man.
Keep
Like,
going, don't stop.
Yeah, like even if you think the music's shit, you know, just keep going, man. You
Never
just,
stop, never stopping.
Connor for real.
Also, drink White Claw.
Yes.
Drink White
We
Claw.
support White Claw. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get sponsored here, boys.
Yeah.
If we're trying to get sponsored, only buy Nongshim noodles, number one. Okay.
All right, this is Lindsay with Tuned In Press and calling all captains. You can check out this full interview at tunedinpress.com. Thank you so much. Bye.
Peace.